So we try and close the gap between imagination and reality early on. We will go the extra mile constantly in mock-ups and submittals. And we've proven, like, if you can vision it, we can build it. Don't inhibit your vision by current capacity. We're willing to come alongside and research new ways to get things built.
It's about a 70-acre park smack dab in the middle of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Started with kind of some ideas, and we worked with Michael Van Valkenburg, and he just brought kind of our vision or our thoughts about what this park could be to life.
The amount of procurement was really like nothing anybody had seen before.
I believe it goes all the way back to George Kaiser and his family immigrating to the city of Tulsa, and him going on to have a very successful career and have a duty and a desire to pay back to the citizens of Tulsa the same way that they received him and his family so well.
George kind of had the vision that, you know, all great cities have great parks and great places for people to gather. And that was kind of the premise that started the whole thing. He really believed that we needed a place in our community where everyone could be.
Elevated Pavers and Stone is an architectural stone company that supplies and installs stone on large-scale commercial projects. I vividly remember wondering and thinking, there's no way we can handle all this. This is 4 times bigger than any individual project we've ever done. We believed in ourselves that we had the capacity to make that happen.
From really the get-go, they took a very detailed approach, which is what we were looking for immediately out of the box. From the procurement side, we're looking at it from manufacturing and which was a relief. The attention to detail they had up front is what made the job go smooth.
Part of our nature is to really pursue project planning as soon as we get the contract, try and procure all our material as fast as possible, as accurately as possible.
We put this all on paper in 3D, dialed exactly what we're going to build. Every piece of stone is turned into a cut ticket, which again is detailed, color, finish, size. Every little bit of it is laid out, so you basically have a game plan.
We will always advocate to create a mock-up to exemplify exactly what you're going to get.
Normal situation there is, hey, we bring shop drawings, they're 2-dimensional, but EPS brought in 3D shop drawing system that nobody had really had to deal with, especially on the masonry side. And he brought that to the table, which architects just ate up, you know, design team loved it. And that's really the only way you could see some of this stuff.
The mason, he's just great at understanding the architects, and so he was able to pitch the stones and stuff. The architect was super happy with him, and he was one of the guys that made that Four Seasons Garden happen.
EPS is the kind of company that they listen to the customer, they listen to the architects, they engage engineers to make sure that what they're doing is going to work. There was a lot of things here that had never been done before. Adam is the kind of guy that, you know, he doesn't say no, he just tries to figure out how to make that work. The Four Seasons Garden is a perfect example. You have almost 40 different walls and column segments, and they're cantilevered so that it feels like the stone is actually like on top of your head and like leaning into you. Normal stonemasons would look at it and say, that's impossible, but Adam didn't. And his team, they took the challenge and they made it happen.
Every piece was numbered, so everything had to go perfectly per drawings and everything. But yet, it wasn't like putting brick up. It was, you know, the architect had he wanted a certain feel.
Whether it's the lodge or the boathouse, the stone is the flooring, and EPS laid all of it. Without stone, you wouldn't really have a gathering place. I can't speak enough to the attention to detail and the can-do attitude. You could never envision having a better partner than EPS.
Every time I've completed the biggest job, I always look with a bit of sadness and think, well, that's the biggest job I'll ever build. I always assume that we'll be relegated to just building small, insignificant stuff because it's hard to imagine there's ever going to be something bigger than those accomplishments. I relearn that lesson year in, year out. We keep getting these invitations to something bigger, and so we are constantly being invited into new challenges to bring our skills to create something amazing.